In Hangzhou, 1,500 kilometers away from Sanxingdui, the tide of the Xiantang River rises and falls day and night. Tianshu has been working for several days, processing mapping information from Sanxingdui in Guanghan, Sichuan. Sanxingdui, first discovered in the 1920s, has been an integral part of China's archaeological progress throughout the past century. With the discovery of pits 3 to 8, Sanxingdui astonished the world again, which also aroused many questions. Why are there 8 burial pits for sacrificial artifacts? Will there be more pits discovered after pit 8? How many? Where could they be? The Sanxingdui civilization, which was once lost in history, has gradually been discovered. Generation after generation, archaeologists have beheld greatness in the minutest details, piecing together an ancient world from the fields. Now, this ancient world is becoming increasingly visible, and never before have we been so close to our ancestors. As the lost civilization resurfaces after millennia, the immortal legacy is faithfully carried on by both the unsung heroes and the well-known. Compared with the excavation of pits 1 and 2, this re-excavation has revealed a wide range of new artifact types, including numerous exquisite bronze wares. Guo Hanzhong, a cultural relics restorer, is eager to restore these artifacts to an exhibition-worthy state.
Stand it up. Place it on the ground. Let go. Just let go.
I can't!
After some effort, the kneeling figurine with a zun on the head is finally presented to everyone in an upright position for the first time. Its godly look and posture of worship easily remind people of the sacrificial activities performed during that era. So, are these pits being excavated formed due to sacrifices? Sun Hua is a professor at the School of Archaeology and Museology, Peking University. He has devoted himself to the research of Sanxingdui for more than 30 years. New discoveries have been made since the re-excavation of Sanxingdui. Based on existing clues, Sun Hua speculates that the artifacts in these pits are likely to be buried at one time.
Burying all items at a time could not possibly be a sacrifice. Sacrifices were held frequently, and it is not likely to offer so many valuable things to deities at once. In this sense, it is appropriate to use the neutral description, Sanxingdui burial pits. These pits might be formed due to major changes happening in the country at that time. Was it due to an invasion by a foreign enemy, a civil disorder, or other reasons? Further research is needed to figure this out.
The stories that happened on this land more than 3,000 years ago are getting increasingly vivid in Sun Hua's mind.
The site spans 12 square kilometers, and the ancient city covers an area of over 3 square kilometers. Being the largest city in the Yangtze River Basin during the Xia and Shang dynasties, in this sense, the Sanxingdui ancient city was definitely a central city, being widely received by scholars as the capital of the ancient Shu kingdom.
The area of the Sanxingdui ancient city is 5 times that of the Forbidden City. How did it become so notable as the largest city in southern China during the Xia and Shang dynasties? Who had lived there? What did they look like? What kind of life did they lead? What were their views of religion and the universe? As the excavation continues and the artifacts resurface gradually, the pit chiefs cannot hold back their excitement.
The large bronze altar unearthed this time is not an enlarged version of the altar discovered in 1986, but a new type that has never been seen before. It consists of 2 parts. The lower part is a 3-tier base, with each layer smaller than the previous one. On the base is a platform with several bronze figures. On each corner of the platform, there is a masked figure in a kneeling posture that is common in Sanxingdui, seemingly holding something in their hands. In the center of the platform, behind the kneeling figure in the corner, there is a taller figure kneeling on a stage. We can't see his face yet, but we see him dressed in more fancy clothes. We have found 2 such figures in symmetrical positions. Therefore, we infer that there are 4 taller figures kneeling and carrying something on their shoulders. Above the platform, the altar rises to a higher level. Though we can't see what's on it yet, we know it should be taller than what has been unearthed.
More information on the sacrificial area is disclosed at the 3rd briefing for staged outcomes being held.
There are no remains of residents. Only remains related to sacrificial activities were found. Therefore, this area should be a place where sacrificial activities were performed, called the sacrificial area.
Based on the latest archaeological data, Ran Honglin speculates that pits 5 and 6 may have been formed later than the other pits. The other 6 pits may have been formed at the same time. A possible reason is that the temple collapsed in a fire, and the ancient Shu people had to bury the sacrificial artifacts destroyed and burnt in a centralized manner, as they were not supposed to discard the sacred artifacts arbitrarily. The ancient Shu moved its capital from Sanxingdui to Jinsha, which may have something to do with the formation of these pits.
The sacrificial area is roughly parallel to the city wall in the northeast. Here, take a look. Next, we will find out the distribution of remains in the area through archaeological excavation and exploration, so as to identify the internal connection between the sacrificial area and the city wall.
The few silk remnants we found are valuable. But I'm not contented. I want to find something more valuable than silk. There are some silk remnants unearthed from pits 1 and 2, and the recently discovered sacrificial pits. It would be great if you could give me some advice.
It's my pleasure. May I have the basic information?
Despite the progress Guo Jianbo has made in the study of silk, what he sees under the microscope are only the remnants. What roles did the ancient silk products play in the sacrificial activities? How did the people of Sanxingdui make the silk products and dye them? There is little possibility to solve these mysteries solely based on the remnants. By visiting the museum, Guo Jianbo hopes to artificially restore the silk products using modern weaving technology according to the longitude and latitude information of the remnants.
Theoretically, the 3-in-1 yarn is too thick. What if the silk yarns in the Shang dynasty are thinner than this one?
You're right.
Or the silk used in the testing is carbonized.
Yeah, it'll swell.
We should produce silk according to the weaving principle of the machine.
According to ancient Shu mythologies, the kings of Shu were believed to be demigods who were closely associated with people's livelihood and well-being. For example, Yu Fu taught people how to fish. Du Yu taught people how to farm. Kai Ming led the people to control water. Legend has it that Kan Kong got the name Qing Yi God for wearing Qing Yi to raise silkworms among folks. As the legend suggests, the origin of silk production in ancient Shu archaeological discoveries and the historical records may shed light on the rise and fall of silk in the region. Ancient China placed great significance on exquisite attire and the observance of proper etiquette. Over 3,000 years ago, in that bustling southern capital, a regal bronze standing figure, resplendent in a silk dress, presided over a grand ceremony. Silk has come to symbolize a connection between the divine and the earthly realm, whether in the south or north.
Across China, the discovery of Sanxingdui silk gives us insights into the origin of silk production in the upper reaches of Yangtze River and complements the Yin ruins in the Central Plains. In both the Central Plains and Bashu area, the silk share the same technology system and knowledge hierarchy. It's very important for silk research.
Now the Chengdu Plain is in the harvest season, with a busy scene everywhere. At the same time, a special team arrived at the archaeological excavation site of Sanxingdui. They used a new technology called electronic trenching, and today is the first time this technology has been used in inland archaeology.
Come on, everybody, we'll move on to Zone D.
This new technology of electronic trenching breaks the limits of villages, rivers, and forest terrain. Gao Yuan, together with Qian Shu and the others, surveyed and mapped around the Sanxingdui ancient city without a stop, hoping to find new relics. Are there any other valuable archaeological relics within the entire Sanxingdui ancient city? Or even within the broader residential areas of ancient Shu people? This has always been a common concern. China has gone through a century of modern archaeology. In the new era, as various emerging technologies open up new possibilities for archaeological endeavors, we will finally have a clear understanding of Sanxingdui ancient city. After a period of busy work, Guo Zhenbo returned to Chengdu Shu Brocade and Embroidery Museum, eager to experience the most exciting moment of the silk restoration project.
It feels really different.
These restored silk fabrics presented before us, just like a time capsule left by the ancient Shu people, like a silky river. The interwoven warp and weft sing in a hushed whisper. Such craft from over 3,000 years ago still lives on today and will continue to thrive in the future. This is the essence of immortality.
There is a legend about the hometown of Lizhu in Sichuan. Silk held great significance in ancient times, symbolizing not only power, but more a profound connection with people. Silk likely played a vital role in the sacrifice system of Sanxingdui culture, alongside the presence of bronzeware, goldware, and jadeware. By making gradual discoveries and remedies, we are able to confirm and supplement our research bit by bit.
Lei Yu came to the site of this ancient city wall again. Covering an area of 3.6 square kilometers, the Sanxingdui ancient city consists of several different areas by the Mamu River. What insight can we gain from the urban division depicted by these remaining walls?
At present, we believe that this 3.6 square kilometer Sanxingdui ancient city comprises at least 3 urban circles. The first one is located in the northwest, known as Yuliangwan Small City. The second one is enclosed by the Sanxingdui Wall in the south, while the third one is bounded by the South Wall. These 3 urban circles constructed during different periods served as distinct function zones. In terms of functional zoning, the first zone primarily housed grand palace buildings and places for sacrificial activities. The second zone mainly consisted of ordinary residential areas, and the third zone in the south was the world-renowned sacrificial area at Sanxingdui. After gradual expansion over several generations, the Sanxingdui ancient city, spanning 3.6 square kilometers, was ultimately established during the middle of the Shang dynasty. The Yazi River lies to the north of the site, while the Mamu River flows through the middle of the city. These 2 rivers directly connected the Sanxingdui site indicate that the ancient city had a highly dense water network. Given the presence of 2 major rivers, some may ask if there was a waterway in Sanxingdui ancient city. Was there a wharf? Was there any dams for water control and flood prevention? We've actually found a lot of waterways in the breaches on the west and east walls. Next, we will further prove the existence of wharfs and dams.
The northern district of the city served as an administrative area, while the southern district functioned as a sacrificial area. They were separated by a river but connected by a waterway. This planning idea of dividing the human world and the God world was a groundbreaking concept developed by Sanxingdui people. This kind of urban planning was later inherited by the Jinsha site and ancient Chengdu. Our ancients regarded the rivers running through the city as the Milky Way in the sky. This was a kind of urban planning idea that imitates heaven. It was different from the urban planning idea of imitating the earth in the middle and lower reaches of the Yellow River in Shang and Zhou dynasties, especially after the Zhou dynasty. One was to imitate the heaven, and the other was to imitate the earth, giving birth to 2 significant planning ideas in China. This planning idea was later adopted by the Qin Empire and used in the expansion of Shanyang by Qin Shi Huang, the founder of the Qin dynasty. This idea was also applied in the layout of Chang'an during the Han dynasty and the eastern capital Luoyang during the Sui and Tang dynasties. This was a significant contribution made by the people of Sanxingdui.
Excavation continues. Following the discovery of Pit 5, an abundance of gold wares, miniature ivory carvings, and other imperceptible traces have been found.
There must be more than 10,000 pieces in this pit.
As the remains are everywhere in the pit, locating and preserving the remaining relics became quite challenging after initial excavation, cleaning, and extraction of some artifacts.
It may take us several months to clean up.
After careful analysis by experts in the cultural relics preservation, the archaeologists decide to suspend the excavation and divide the entire Pit 5 into 2 parts to transfer them in a laboratory for future thorough excavation. However, the entirety extraction is not easy. In accordance with requirements, the pit wall must remain undamaged during the process. Xie Zhenbin was troubled by this and thus created a 1-to-1 replica of the pit outside the excavation shed to simulate the transfer process for Pit 5.
As required by Tang Fei, the pit wall must remain undamaged and look like this after cleaning up the artifact
we
layer.
have to dig the earth?
Yes, we have to hollow out the bottom of the earth and support it at the same time.
Now the plan is to frame the structure, dig it up, and pack the loose earth on the edges down with the original soil. Once properly tamped down, it will then be padded layer by layer. You don't do this for the soil, but for the experience. Should I keep the earth here intact? Yes, try to keep it intact. We cannot cut corners.
Cold dew indicates the arrival of late autumn. Nearly 2 years have passed since the discovery of Pit 3 in the winter of 2019. So far, the field archaeology in Pits 3, 4, and 6 have been completed, and the artifact layers in Pits 7 and 8 have been uncovered and are now awaiting final extraction. For Lei Yu, every day of those 2 years was fresh.
We have excavated many new types of artifacts, such as the kneeling figurine with a sun on the head, the bronze kneeling statue with the head turned to one shoulder unearthed from Pit 4, and the jade Kong with sacred tree patterns. These were not found in Pits 1 and 2, and are much smaller. These newly excavated artifacts offer us a glimpse into the varied bronze and jadeware in Sanxingdui culture in the late Shang Dynasty. As the joke goes, if you haven't been to Sanxingdui, you won't realize how poor your imagination is. Thanks to the artifacts unearthed in Sanxingdui, we are able to appreciate the diverse and charming Chinese civilization.
I hereby announce the official opening of Sanxingdui Cultural Relics Protection and Restoration Hall.
As more artifacts are unearthed, the cleaning and restoration of cultural relics accounted for an increasing proportion during the re-excavation of Sanxingdui. Sanxingdui Museum has set up the Public Restoration Center of Cultural Relics to allow visitors to observe the restoration of cultural relics. Some of the newly unearthed artifacts will be restored and cleaned up here.
Here, let's use this to lift it up with less effort. Wire cutter.
During the simulation test for the extraction of Pit 5, some issues were identified, together with subsequent solutions. Archaeologists have learned valuable experience from the successful extraction of the simulation pit. Eventually, the formal extraction of Pit 5 went exceptionally well. Sanxingdui site and Jinsha site are close to each other in space and share the same cultural features. Academic circles have traditionally viewed them as part of the same cultural community, making joint application for the World Cultural Heritage a desirable option.
Sanxingdui is in my hometown Deyang, and also my research topic. That's why I have special affection for it. I look forward to the successful application of the Sanxingdui and Jinsha sites.
It is very necessary to apply for the World Cultural Heritage. It's also an imperative event for archaeological research and preservation of cultural relics, local economic and cultural development, and integration of culture and tourism.
When Kan Kong and Yu Fu founded the realm, how long ago it was? For 48,000 years afterwards, no one reached the passes of Qin. With such verses, Li Bai made the myth of ancient Shu kingdom spread for nearly 1,000 years. With utmost reverence and piety, we follow in the footsteps of our ancestors, tracing the ancient and mysterious Shu that once spanned the land of Bashu. Today, we can imagine what kind of life Sanxingdui people once lived. Sanxingdui used to be a place of magnificence and romance. Mystery and poetry made everything that happened here a legend. There was a phoenix flying free in a sacred towering tree. Amidst the bright sunshine in the sky, people worshipped the lofty mountains with reverence.
Sanxingdui site boasts a very long history with its primary cultural relics lasting for over 2,000 years without interruption. This is very rare all over the world. This is an ancient memory of mankind and our common heritage.
As a bronze culture in the upper reaches of the Yangtze River during the Xia and Shang dynasties, Sanxingdui drew upon the civilizations of both the Yangtze River and the Yellow River. These two cultures came together in a relatively close basin of Sichuan. During the Xia, Shang, and Zhou dynasties, it was rare for people to create human-like statues of gods. However, the Sanxingdui people crafted not only deities with human heads and bird bodies, but also produced a multitude of statues of humans and gods in various forms using bronze and wood. These creations mark a significant addition to our art history and constitute an important contribution to Chinese civilization.
Each exploration of Sanxingdui gives us a deeper understanding of the site. Just as archaeologists strip away the strata layer by layer, we are getting closer to history step by step. Learn about China from archaeology and civilization from exploration. China's archaeologists, standing on the world stage, are wise men who pursue human origin. As we look back and discover immortality, we pave the way for a brighter future that lies ahead.
My name is Leo. I have been working in Sanxingdui for over 3 decades, and I aspire to continue my work for another 30 years.
My name is Ran Honglin. With increasing importance in archaeology, significant archaeological breakthroughs at Sanxingdui is expected.
I'm Sun Hua, a faculty member at the School of Archaeology and Museology of Peking University. I have been researching Sanxingdui culture for more than 30 years. I'm Shi Shenbin from the Sichuan Provincial Cultural Relics and Archaeology Research Institute. I'm Guo Jianbo from the Cultural Relics Protection Center.
I'm Guo Hanzhong. I've been engaged in restoration of cultural relics for over 30 years.
I'm Ren Zhenfang. I'm Yu Jian.
I'm Shao Qing.
I'm Wang Chang.
I'm Xu Feihong.
I'm Zhao Hao.
I'm Shu Danyang.
I'm Sheng Lu. I'm Li Sifang. I'm Xiao Rangshu.
I'm Lu Yunling.
I'm Dang Xiaowei.
I'm Ma Kinsang.